all together one more time. Ring my bell and let it chime. Everyone around the world, look at me. This is the way it's gonna be. Just you and me, so hold on tight. Yeah, this time is mine. Come join the ride. Be Bobby, Lobby, you behold the one that you've been waiting for. May, na 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 na, whoa, 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 na 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 na. This my time to shine. I'm gonna tell ya, this is about me. I'm worth the wait. I'm gonna tell ya, this is about me. I'm worth the wait. I'm gonna tell ya, this is about me. I'm worth the wait. I'm gonna tell ya, this is about me. I am worth the wait. Be Bobby, Lobby, you behold the one that you've been waiting for. May. Na 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 na, whoa, whoa, na 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 na. This my time to shine.
I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I am no regular citizen. Nope. Do you understand what you're witnessing? You cannot tell what the difference is. I want it all and I'm winning it. I do not care about opinions. Time to make a few decisions so I can take your position. I'ma go get it, I'm punching and kicking. I keep on moving, they out for me. Just do it and stop at our talking G. I'm not expressing no modesty. I can't see nobody stopping me. If there's a problem, I gotta solve it. Straight to the top, I can't see myself falling. I gotta grab it, there's no time for stalling. Number one stunner, don't have other options. Now I'm fired up. I'm sorry, brother, your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. I came from the ashes, I rise up. Rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I gotta go for the gold. I need to switch up the mode. I'm gonna win on my own. I'm in a whole nother zone. I reached the pinnacle. I don't have time, this is critical. It's time to finish you. I don't care who I just did it to. I gotta go for the gold. I need to switch up the mode. I'm gonna win on my own. I'm in a whole nother zone. I reached reach the pinnacle. I don't have time, this is critical. It's time to finish you. I don't care who I just did it to. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. Said I'm fired up, I'm sorry your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. Came from the ashes, I rise up. Rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up, I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up, I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up, I want it now, I gotta rise up.
Na 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 na, whoa, na 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 na. This my time to shine. Everybody gather round. I'm the new kid in this town. Let me lay it on the mic. This my time to shine. Na 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 na, whoa, na 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 na. This my time to shine. Let's kick back, enjoy the ride. My advice is don't think twice. Everyone around the world, look at me, I'm fine. This is the way it's gonna be. Just you and me, so hold on tight. Yeah, this time is mine. Come join the ride. Be bright, be loud, be you, behold the one that you've been waiting for. May. Na 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 na, whoa, na 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 na. This my time to shine, shine. I'm shining. People, you are with me now. I'm not here to play around. Let me show you what I am. This my time to shine. All together one more time. Ring my bell and let it chime. Everyone around the world, look at me. This is the way it's gonna be. Just you and me, so hold on tight. Yeah, this time is mine. Come join the ride. Be bright, be loud, be you, behold the one that you've been waiting for. May. Na 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 na, whoa, na 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 na. This my time to shine. I'm gonna tell ya, I'm gonna tell ya about me. I'm worth the wait. I'm gonna tell ya, I'm gonna tell ya about me. I'm worth the wait. I'm gonna tell ya, I'm gonna tell ya about me. I'm worth the wait. I'm gonna tell ya, I'm gonna tell ya this is about me. I am worth the wait. Be bright, be loud, be you, behold the one that you've been waiting for. May. Na 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 na, whoa, na 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 na. This my time to shine.
We're here in Spokane, Washington, our site for the 2022 CISM Women's Football Military World Cup, as we get ready for the second match of our opening day as Ireland gets ready to take on Germany. Hi everybody, or hello, goedemorgen to everyone in Ireland and Germany tuning in. It's a 9-hour difference between Germany and an 8-hour time difference between Ireland and Washington State. So we thank you, Val. We thank you for joining us for the second match of the tournament. It is 3 a.m. in Ireland. It's 4 a.m. in Germany. Make sure you grab your coffee. We appreciate you joining us. These women deserve it. They've worked so hard to get ready for these 90 minutes of football. I'm Alex Gould. Alongside me is U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson. We'll have the action for you all tournament long, as well as our wonderful crew. But Shelby, great to be here with you again. We saw the United States defeat Belgium 10-0. 7 first-half goals and a hat trick from Haley Robertson in that first half, and the U.S. didn't look back.
I am so excited to see what these teams have to bring us. Ireland and Germany. U.S. brought the heat for the first game, but I cannot imagine that these two teams won't bring it as well for the first day of this CISM tournament.
Much like Belgium, Ireland, first time ever competing in CISM women's football. And so we may not know what to expect here. I know there's probably some nerves on that Irish side of things. But when we spoke to the coaching staff and spoke to Richard Crowe, the head coach, as well as Darren Cody, they said these ladies are fired up and ready to go.
Absolutely. We saw them practicing a little bit yesterday, and they were bringing it. They looked well-rounded, passing the ball, making those shots and sequences. So I'm excited to see what they bring today on the field here for the next 90 minutes.
And for Germany, well, they've won the most gold medals 4 times, most of any nation, 2001, 2003, 2008, and 2012. But it's been 10 years. It's been a decade since the Germans have hoisted the gold in CISM women's football. You take a look here at the German lineup. You see their starting 11 there on the screen. Going to talk about these women all match long. And we can take a look at how Ireland is going to line up as well. You take a look right there. Again, Richard Crowe is their head coach. First time for Ireland getting their feet wet on the turf here in Spokane, Washington, as they are taking a picture right now on the pitch. This is a pretty cool moment. Normally you don't do this right before a match, but they're soaking it all in. Ever since they got here about 48 hours ago, they want to make sure they document this moment, because they hope that just because this is the first, it's not going to be the last of women's football in Ireland in terms of the Military World Cup. They want to be here year in and year out.
And we just saw Germany break out of their team huddle, and loud as can be as they take the field for this second game. We're excited to see they're giving high fives to everybody. And now Ireland's in their huddle. I'm excited to see what they have to bring for us and what the coaches have taught these women as they've been practicing here to attend this tournament.
Referees in tonight's match, 2 from the Republic of Korea, South Korea. The head referee is Hak Ming-ji, and then Young Sung-young is the AR1. The AR2 and the 4th official in tonight's match are from Canada, George Prionis and John Carlo Pavone. So that is the 4 man and woman crew for this nightcap between Ireland and Germany. But again, we say hello, thank you for joining us. 3 a.m. in Ireland, 4 a.m. in Germany. So special to be able to bring this live to you guys there.
And we talked to the refs a little bit before the game, right, Alex? And they were excited, almost more excited to be here than the players themselves. They were very hyped to get going and play alongside these players.
So Ireland started with it here in the first half. Of course, the Irish are in the green and white, and then Germany is in the red and white. Germany is the home team, even though both teams very far from home. Ireland is the away team here in this first match between these two, our second match of the night. Team USA got things started with a goal 2 minutes in So if Germany or Ireland wants to match that, they got to score right now, Shelby.
They really do. They got some competition. And they seem to be passing. Ireland is really relying on their goalkeeper, Lauren Dunn, back there for a lot of support.
So Germany was playing with it in the back. They're so tactical, so savvy, understanding what to do. It's a reason that they have the most medals out of any participant. They were one of the first 4 founders. It's a good ball. Chance here for the Germans. Playing it back, now across, inside the box. Bodies tumbling. Ireland trying to get it out of there, and they finally do. So that was Shannon Thomas, who was able to clear it for now. But a good look for the Germans here to start. They are so lethal, not just on their back line. As you see, they got a 4 back, playing essentially a 4-4-2, 4-4-3. They'll mix things up. Ireland in a similar formation. They're a 4-4-2, and you can pretty much see it. This is actually a great shot right there. You see the 4 back for Ireland, but both head coaches were talking about how they're going to mix things up as best as they can. In the middle of the pitch here, that was Zonia Batoshek, an OR4 stellar striker for Germany. She serves in the Air Force. She's from Hewlett, Germany. And something we didn't see enough of from Belgium in that first match is something we just saw there from Ireland. Short passes, trying to string together short passes, being precise and accurate. If you're Ireland and you want to beat a tough German squad, you have to put together those passes. This will be Sabrina Braunschweig, OR5 in the Army, thrown in here for Germany. And she'll get to do it about 20 feet further.
Number 16.
So first goal kick here for Ireland, and that is the keeper in Lauren Dunn. Germany just outside the 18. Good defense there by the Irish. Four minutes in. Left foot cross. This is Jill Ludwig. She's trying to find a teammate on the far side.
And Shannon Thomas getting it out.
I'm curious to see, I know you are too, Shelby, how much the Irish going to push back as this is going to be another goal kick. That was essentially a swing and a miss there on the far side by Germany. So Dunn will get another goal kick. But I'm curious to see, you can already see Germany's attack, how relentless they are. They put so much pressure on the back four. So I want to see if Richard Crowe is going to push maybe one or two more on the defensive side of things to help out the back line.
It also makes me wonder if they're starting defensive to kind of test the waters as Germany starts the play to see if they need to keep it there. Oh, and it looks like we have a player down.
It's a woman down for Ireland on the pitch. I think it was a play away from the ball, so it's hard to see what happened. So we can't see a number here, but this is not what you want to see 5+ minutes in to the first match of the tournament. We'll take a look at a replay here. Let's see if we can see it. And I guess it was right on the ball. Trying to see who this is here for Ireland that's down. That looks like number 8. That is number 8. So that is Shelley Kehoe, the center mid for Ireland. Looks like Kehoe is going to check out for a moment here. She's already telling the 4th official she's ready to go back in. See if Germany switches sides of the pitch here. They do. That was perfect. That was Sabrina Braunschweig who was calling for it all the way. Good vision for Germany. Braunschweig trying to find a teammate. It's put past the touchline by Ireland. That was Essie O'Connell. O'Connell in the Army. Everyone on this Irish team branch of service is in the Army. They do have a referee that they brought here that is in the Navy in Ireland, but everyone else is in the Army. Whereas if you take a look at the German team, we saw Belgium and USA earlier, all different branches for the most part. So pretty unique that they're all from the same branch.
It'll be nice because they can relate then a little bit more than some of the other teams when it comes to their military side of the house. It's been a pretty aggressive game so far. I think from the very start we've seen a lot of, I wouldn't say pushing and shoving, but a lot of aggressiveness from both teams, and I think that's going to make a very interesting game to see them both bring their best game.
Keepers have to be decisive, don't they? I mean, that was nice there by Dunn to make sure that she had enough space, and it was a good block out. I remember the back line, left-footed cross, could be a chance for Germany.
And it's in.
Wait a minute. Was it a goal? They are keeping the flag down. It is. Almost looked like Zonia Bartoszek thought she was offside. But the flag stayed down here on the near side, and it's a goal for Germany 8 minutes in. Saw the reaction there. That's what I was looking for. A lot of times you're looking at a player and you were waiting to see if the flag was going to go up. Instead, it stayed down. That was the AR2 there, and George Prionis deemed that Bartoszek was onside. So Germany with a good start here. Wasn't 2 minutes in, but guess what? They'll take it. 9 minutes, and even 9 minutes into the match, they lead 1-0. Good run here on the near side.
It's definitely a foot race here on the right side.
That was Vanessa Honig. Ball inside the 18. Good footwork here. Vanessa Scrade. There's another pass that was intercepted. That was Jill Ludwig. That was a good attempt, but Dunn's able to corral it inside the 6. Take a look at this replay again here. Germany's so comfortable when it comes to crossing from any part or trying to play it in, even if they're 70, 80 yards out.
Man, I can hear the coaches from over here.
Of course, I said 70 to 80 yards out, and that's 7 to 8 yards out. They're so comfortable. Switching sides of the pitch, they're so tactical, very sharp. And that's why we talk about with Ireland, if these little passes are not connected, Germany will make you pay.
I agree. These passes between Germany, you can see the connecting short stops.
Players down for Germany. Ireland plays it out. Talked about sportsmanship earlier. But after we saw Kehoe go down,
guys, hey, don't throw it. Don't throw.
now a player for Germany. Hard to see the number over on the far side of the pitch. That is Ronja Riemer. OR3, a midfielder here for Germany in the Army. From Brunswick, Germany. Getting looked at by the trainers, and you never like it when an athlete is pointing to the knee area. Oh boy, Brunswick in a lot of pain here. Excuse me, Reamer in a lot of pain. Take a look at this replay. Yeah, landed awkwardly. You've played, Shelby. That's not fun to feel and to look at, especially. That's tough for Reamer.
Absolutely. It looked like she kicked it kind of funny, and you never know when you're flailing your legs and trying to get a body part on the ball what can happen.
So we'll see if we get our first substitute here. Not even 12 minutes into the match.
And these teams, each one of them bring 2 medical trainers with them, along with a couple referees and obviously the coaching staff. But it's phenomenal to have each team have their own medical professionals along with them to help them out in situations like this.
Still tending to Reamer. Just outside the touchline. Guillot bounced right back up, but Reamer's still down over there on the turf. This would be a throw-in for Germany right around there, and they may have to move her at some point, if they can. So Ireland playing in their first CISM tournament. Germany's been here since the beginning. It's a veteran versus a rookie. That's what we would say here in the States. Germany has been on the attack since the start. Still have it just outside the 18. Left foot deflection. And Dunn will corral it.
Let's see if Ireland can keep it up in the offensive.
It's okay when you're playing, put yourself in Ireland's shoes here, any player on the pitch, but you let up a goal pretty early on, maybe some complaints on an offside, but you got to put that aside. How do you try, if you can possess the ball long enough, to get something past the tough back 4 of Germany on their defensive third?
I don't know. I think they're going to have to mimic Germany with them small passes and them good sequences, kind of mimicking each other. I think that just like this here, where it's a through ball, see if they can make it.
That was actually the best look we've seen, and that touch was just a little bit too much there from Catherine Meany, the center mid. She was trying to connect with Sasha O'Reilly O'Riordan. Germany's also so comfortable, too, playing through their backs. They're okay with, even if they have the ball around the middle of the pitch, if they don't have anything, they don't panic.
That's that calmness that's almost scary for the other team. Taking the time, making those small, short passes, being very calm. That's the kind of technique that wins the games.
Yeah, how intimidating is that when you step onto a pitch, right? You already got some nerves, maybe some adrenaline, some butterflies going, and then you see a team on the other side that has been here and understands what CISM is all about. They've been in these military women's World Cups for 20-plus years. That can't make the nerves go away by any means.
Absolutely not. I'm intimidated just watching.
So it was a 9th-minute goal by Sonia Bartoszek that has given Germany a 1-0 advantage. And Bartoszek, pretty interesting. So she's in the Air Force. Her military profession, she's a photographer. So not only is she an artist with the camera, but she is quite the artist on the pitch.
That's interesting. I didn't know that they had photographers in the German army like that, or the Air Force, what have you.
And we have a substitution for Germany. Coming out is number 17.
So here's that
And in is number 9, Romeo.
substitution we were looking at. So that's going to be the end of the night for Reamer. So Ronja Reamer checks out. Jessica Schlegel checks in for Germany, an OR4 in the Air Force. So Schlegel in and Reamer out. That's a tough loss. That's a tough break there for Germany. Never want to see injuries, of course, but especially his first match of the tournament. Every team travels, every nation travels with 21 players. You get 5 substitutes a match, so that's already 1 here for Germany, and that's going to be a handball by Bartoszek, just outside the 18.
I can't imagine what she's feeling being out this early in the tournament, and I do hope that she's able to make it back in for at least a couple more games to have the opportunity to play along these teams.
So that was Chloe Foy. Played it back to Dunn. Ireland trying to get the ball out of their own defensive third. Had a couple of chances to be on the attack. This could be a good counter opportunity. Germany's got 4 back. It's a 3-on-4. Good run in the middle of the pitch, but then Ireland was not looking for it. So that was a nice run there.
It was a nice run. What I'm seeing from Ireland, and I don't know if you're seeing it too, is their passes are making it to the other team.
Another chance here for Germany. Good recovery and help side defense there as Dunn tried to make the save, could not. That's the center back for Ireland there, making the save and making sure Germany didn't have 2. That was Shannon Thomas. The center half is what they call it overseas. So a corner kick here for Germany on the near side. Take a look at that replay. This is Vanessa Scrade. Off the head, and it's saved by Dunn. So Ireland keeps escaping. Sometimes that's what you have to do. It's a boxing analogy, Shelby, but a lot of times you got to take a lot of punches, but you just can't go down. And so that's what Ireland's doing so far, 19 minutes into the match. But in case you're just joining us, maybe you just woke up in Germany, it's about 4:20 in the morning there, 3:20 in Ireland. It is 1-0 Germany. Sonia Bartoszek, who thought she was offside, was deemed on, scored the first one of the match in the 9th minute. And so many kids at home watching are sitting there going, why is Ludwig going the wrong way in that instance? But that's what we were talking about earlier. She is so comfortable, and she knows her backs are so good at possessing the ball that they're okay to play it, and even in this situation, play it through their keeper in Gina Marie Michka.
Well, you know what? It comes down to trust, I feel like. I feel like these girls trust each other, trust their skill levels, to know that it's okay if I pass it back. It's okay if we go back to the goalie when they might not be able to actually pick up the ball. And I think that just shows a testament of what they've been taught and the skills that these women possess.
Tell you what, though, Sasha O'Reilly Reardon, she's got some wheels, and she's listed as a center mid. But O'Reilly Reardon is playing more of a left wing spot.
I've seen her play the whole field, so that might be one of her specialties, kind of going around, covering where she needs to.
And so oftentimes, too, when you're listed as a center mid, it just means I play all over. If you need me in front of goal, I'll play, right?
Exactly.
Oh.
The helping hand, I think, I used to play center mid, and I think it's more of like the building block of a lot of the different plays. They're the person that moves to where you need them to make sure those sequences get done.
We were talking about it before this match. You said you played all over, pretty much every position. One of those kind of utility players, I guess we can call it, where you can play anywhere from, we'll say, the 2 through the 11.
Well, I mean, I'm in the military, aren't I? I know what to do when I'm told to do it.
Absolutely. Here's a chance. We were just talking about her. O'Reilly O'Riordan, a one-on-one here on the far flank. Passes it back to a teammate. Good swim move. O'Reilly O'Riordan, though, was off. And I was thinking that Angela McGuigan, there, the center forward for Ireland, was going to try and take that herself. She had a one-on-one.
I thought so, too. I was almost waiting for the rest of the players to get up there to support in case they do pass it towards the middle, just like U.S. was earlier today.
I'll tell you what, though, for a newer club, for a newer nation in the military, Ireland coming out, I know they're down 1-0. It's not what they want to be. They'd rather be up 1-0, of course, but they're showing something. They're escaping against some of these attacking opportunities for Germany. And like we were talking about on the German side of things, them not looking scared. Right about this time, I'd say 22 minutes in, 20-plus minutes in, a lot of times the butterflies are going to go away. Now you're just playing football out on the pitch, and you've played this since you were 4 years old.
Yeah, I think so too. And like I said, the aggressiveness, the tenaciousness on the team, on the field is really a sight to see. You know, I don't think it was like this with the U.S. and Belgium game earlier, but it is very, like, they are all over the field.
Shannon Thomas. That's another thing, too. Shannon Thomas, she's listed as a center mid, and you can see she is not playing in a central midfield position. She is the center back, the right center back, to be exact, for Ireland.
Well, absolutely, and you saw she turned the direction of the field. She knew where to look and knew what to do with the ball, so I think that's one of the reasons I'm sure that she's at that center mid position.
Speaking of Shannon Thomas, she's an interesting story. You don't see this too much. But Thomas has only played soccer since the age of 14. You don't see that a whole lot.
You really don't. Usually it's the other way around. You start younger and end older. Changing directions and sides of the field.
That's another thing, too, about Thomas, is he's only played soccer since the age of 14, but spent 5 years on a soccer scholarship in America while she completed a bachelor's degree in physical education.
That's interesting. That is really interesting.
Spent 2 years playing with Coffeyville Community College in Kansas, and then 3 years playing with Delta State University in Mississippi. And Delta State is a really good Division II program.
And now she's back in Washington, East Coast, playing the game again. That must be something that she has a good time being back in the States for a little bit and getting to check it out like she did before.
Yeah, Delta State located in Mississippi, so further west, further north. And this is a hydration break. So to go over this, it's pretty hot here.
Pretty hot.
in Spokane. Taking a look at the temperature, it's 86 degrees, so it's cooled off 2 degrees since the start of the United States and Belgium match to kick things off here in the CISM Military Women's World Cup. But that's about 30 degrees Celsius, so if you can picture that back in Ireland and Germany, it's hot. And of course, they're on this turf surface, which a lot of times people say it heats it up, 8 to 10 degrees more.
Absolutely. You say a couple of degrees less, and I'm going to tell you that it doesn't feel like it. I think the sun coming down and getting into everyone's eyes is a little bit difficult for the team players. You see them squinting and covering their eyes as well. So we'll see when it gets a little bit darker to see how that aids in their playing.
But thoughts so far? I mean, we've seen Ireland kind of back on their defensive third most of the match. They've had a couple of opportunities on some counters. Maybe that's going to be what they need. Germany was able to get that one goal by Zonia Bartoszek.
I think it's those breakaways. I think that's what Ireland needs, is them lucky shots and them sequences that actually do end up connecting to make that goal and to get back and score against Germany.
And we talk about it all the time as this water break's coming to an end here. We talk about it a lot. Some teams are actually comfortable at times. Mind you, you always want to be on the attack. Sure, of course. An obvious statement. But some teams are so comfortable saying, okay, we can rely. Our back four is just going to beat anybody up front for you. And so a lot of these teams are okay sometimes. If Germany pushes a couple more than they should, that's when Ireland could strike on a counter opportunity, because then they say, okay, now we have possession of the ball. Germany's only got two back. We've got 2 or 3 who are ready to roll. You have a chance at a 3-on-2, maybe at least a 3-on-3 opportunity. Chance here. And the flag goes up. Offside. Joe Ludwig over on the far side. Got a little bit too antsy. Kirsten Stegemann, the head coach for Germany, part of the Army. She's the HR for sports soldiers in Germany. She's been the head coach since 2006. She's part of the Military World Cup in 2007 and 2011. She was on the team. And that team finished second in 2011. She was a Military World Cup champion in 2012.
That's got to be an advantage, if you do say so myself. Playing the game, being there, and then having that mentorship for these women who are playing the same game a couple years later has got to help them out a lot.
At Deutschland, Germany wound up winning it. That was hosted in Germany, so hosted by Germany. So Germany put on a show in Warendorf in front of their home faithful. Kirsten Stegemann was a part of that team. But Stegemann, I know she doesn't want us to talk about her. She wants us to talk about her athletes out on the pitch. But she has had quite the professional success. She has served her country proud and won Military World Cups, but she was a part of some FIFA World Cup championship Germany runs. One of the most decorated athletes in German history.
And I think, if I remember correctly, we were told she has the highest coaching license that you can have in Germany. And she's here coaching the German women's football team. That's got to say something.
This could be a 1v1 opportunity here for Braunschweig. Passes it through the middle, left foot, and a chance. That was a back heel by Bartoszek. And how about the recovery from Dunn to make sure Germany didn't get their second here in the first half. Take a look at this again. Wow. That was a lot closer than I thought, too. That was a nice back heel. Pretty cheeky there from Bartoszek. But Dunn was all over it. How much does that fire you up, Shelby? If you're a teammate of Dunn there, she comes from the near side, the near post, maybe even about 2 to 3 yards outside the 6, and has to make that recovery, makes that save. That's got to give you a little bit of a jolt of energy.
Oh, absolutely, and it just shows the skill and the testament of Dunn, and her goalkeeping skills absolutely phenomenal.
So Dunn, who is an infantry soldier, member of the Defense Forces football team the past 3 years. Near side, cross into the box, off the head, and it misses wide. It's going to be a goal kick. Boy, are they playing through Sonia Batoshek or what? She scored the first. They were looking for her on a second, 31 minutes in.
Oh, that was close. A clear by Dunn.
Ireland was able to get it outside the box. Now they can reset the defense a little bit here on this throw-in on the far flank. That was something, too, we talked about with Belgium. Just unable to clear the ball. A lot of times, and you can talk about it, they just teaching you, listen, reset. Take it past the touchline, let them throw it in. Who cares? Let's reset our defense. And maybe even give the back line a 5 to 10 second breather.
Right, give the chance for the setter bids to come back and help out a little bit.
It just seems like, too, Germany, they're looking to throw it in immediately because they understand when they have the momentum, kind of have that pace, right, and that poise and that feel of how the match is going.
No time to waste? Absolutely not. Especially being 1-0. You never know what can happen at this point.
That's going to be a foul call. Haven't heard too many whistles so far from the head referee. From Chak Min-ji.
You know what I have seen a lot during this game is the two teams both aren't afraid of the ball, right? They're letting it hit their head, their chest, their heel, just about every part of their body to make sure they get a touch on the ball and get it to where it needs to go.
Scrade was taking a look at another save by Dunn. It might have been wide anyway, but she wanted to make sure of it.
She was just showing off a little bit. We
Absolutely.
know.
Showcasing her range a little bit. Reached out with the left arm, extended. And it's another corner here for Germany. This will be Germany's second corner of the match. So Vanessa Scrade, who takes most of their corner kicks. Second time here from the near side. Scrade looking for a teammate, low liner. Big swing and a major clearance. And we may get a card here, at least a talking to. No card issued. But a foul was called. Looked like that was Ludwig who was called for the foul. Actually, you got to give a lot of credit too, as well, to Shelly Kehoe. Remember, she took a big shot earlier, had to check out of the match, but she's a warrior, of course. Checked right back in. Kehoe, it's a big reason why Ludwig there wound up kicking her in the shin and drawing the foul, because if Kehoe doesn't get to that ball and clear it out of there, might have seen a right foot rocket off of Jill Ludwig. Dispossession, a turnover for Ireland. And then Dunn's able to corral it. Good defensive play by Siobhan Catherine O'Sullivan, the left center back for Ireland. That's why it was such a rarity. Super tough to do what the United States did in the first match. Germany, we'll say, has definitely outplayed Ireland here in this first half, no doubt about it. If you track possession, it's probably about 70-30, 75-25. That's an estimate. But the United States was about the same thing, maybe 80-20, we'll say, 75-25. And the United States put 7 into the back of the net in that first half. And added 3 more to win 10-0. And we talked about goal differential, why that's so crucial. And both of these teams, we'll see both of those teams at some point. Ireland will take on Belgium at some point, and the United States, and so will Germany. Both of these nations are in Group A, along with Cameroon.
You're right, and Germany is playing very similar to U.S., and I think that it'll be interesting, very interesting to see their game when they do play and see how that ends up for both teams.
Belgium will take on Germany That will be a 3:30 Pacific time start. And good news, I think, maybe it's worse news, I don't know, for those of you in Germany who are tuning in, but that's a 12:30 a.m. start time for you guys to watch. Maybe stay up a little bit later, watch some World Cup military soccer, some football, and join us. Maybe get to sleep about 2:30.
It's worth it. This is an interesting game. This is interesting to see for sure.
Great through ball here. Maybe a little bit too much that time off the foot of Skrade. And Schlegel couldn't keep it in. Ireland again. And no pun intended, we talk about the military, but their defense has looked really, really good so far. At least kind of stifling the German attack.
Good header by Catherine Meany. And a breakaway, it's a foot race, and it's out.
It's another chance over there. We've been talking about her. That's O'Reilly O'Rodin. Good ball. Ireland just outside the 18, a cross, and a corner kick here for the Irish.
This
Good
might be their
push.
chance.
Yeah, good push on that far flank. Couple of give and goes, and again, pass accuracy. That's what we saw there from the Irish. We'll see, is Catherine Meany going to take it here for Ireland? She's normally their corner kick specialist, and she will.
Kind of looks like Ireland has their team gathered in the middle, and they might break away when she kicks the ball. It'll be interested to see how they run this technique.
Meany's going to take it with the left foot here. Low liner, and it almost bent into the back of the net. That is one of the most rare, but one of the most exciting things in football is when that corner kick just bends to the near post, and Meany just missed. Clinged off the post. And realistically, of course, that's not what she's trying to do there. Of course, she's trying to find the head of a teammate, or maybe a low liner in that situation. Find the shin or find the foot of a teammate. Almost got it to go in. There's a turnover. Can't have that happen. That's Vanessa Honig, but then Ireland's able to take it right back.
Nice.
That was Shelley Kehoe. Now Kehoe still has it. Look at this, middle of the pitch here for Kehoe. Tried to find a teammate, but not enough on the pass. Kehoe was looking for Angela McGuigan.
That was pretty tough work by Kehoe there, going through two different players of the German team and passing it on. Just
a lot of times we were talking about CISM, right? The Council International du Sport Militaire, or the Council International of Sports Military. 30 different sports, both men's and women's. 140 nations. So they just had a 3v3 basketball championship. I'm pretty sure that was a men's championship. I'm pretty sure that was in Germany. But we always talk about a lot of times in basketball as the flag goes up offside. Crossover moves, right? And a lot of times you see on ESPN and Sports Center, anytime someone kind of, what we say, break someone's ankles where they fall on the ground. But I think it looks maybe just as cool on the pitch, and also you have to do that with a ball at your feet. It's much tougher to do.
that fancy footwork will get any player tripped up, that's for sure.
And Kehoe's definitely got the skills. Now reaching the 41st minute. About 5+, maybe an added couple of minutes because of the injury. If you're just joining us here, it's 1-0 Germany, 9th minute. Zonia Batashek, center forward for Team Germany, was able to get one into the back of the net. Thought maybe she was offside. Flag stayed down. Germany's had the possession about 70-30, maybe 75-25. The Irish have hung in there. Then also a pretty key injury. Ronja Riemer for Germany, the left wing, had to be taken off the pitch and then had to be subbed out about 2 to 3 minutes later by Jessica Schlegel. And Ireland has not used the sub yet. And that's where we're at, 1-0. 42nd minute now.
I think it comes down to ball control a little bit. That's kind of the trend I'm seeing from Ireland is the touch, the first touch isn't close to their body, so they're losing it to Germany within that first touch.
Leah Walsh throws it in. Finds Chloe Farrell, the right mid. I know you're seeing it too, but things I'm seeing with Germany is they're ultra aggressive, extremely aggressive. So they're going to push. You can see everyone right here is right around mid-pitch.
I agree. I was saying earlier, I almost think both teams have come out pretty aggressive for being the first time playing each other.
Good ball here. It was in the middle of the pitch.
See, and look at that. Pass back to the goalkeeper on their defensive half. If that doesn't show trust, I don't know what does.
Foot race to the ball here. Leah Walsh was able to track it. Then a turnover. Jill Ludwig had to change the side of the pitch. Flag goes up, offside. So that was Schlegel, who took over in that left wing position. Was deemed off. So the crowd, Union Stadium seats about 4,500. I'll tell you what, the crowd is definitely, of course, bigger for the United States with them being the host nation. But still a pretty good crowd on tap here to watch Germany and Ireland. Football and soccer here in the United States is growing so quickly. Gonna rise. This could be a chance. One-on-one with the keeper. Decisiveness by Dunn, and she corrals it. How about that?
That was a save. That was no fear coming out by Laura Dunn, for sure.
Lauren Dunn had Batoshek as well as Honig. Batoshek kind of breathing down her neck. Let's take a look at this again. Actually, it was Honig. Honig just a little much on her first touch. I think she barely got a cleat on it. That was just enough for Dunn, who has to make that split-second decision of what she wants to do, whether she wants to hang back or wants to be aggressive. She was aggressive, and it was the right move. Here's Honig again. Could play it back if she wants. Instead, Leah Walsh dispossesses it.
Very good clear by the Irish.
So we've reached what would be the 46th minute now. So we'll see how much time there is being added. It's going to be 1 minute that is added here. And is this going to be a corner? Yes, it is. This could be a chance here for Germany. And knowing that there's 1 minute, it was just announced here at the stadium, Shelby, Ireland's pushing everyone back, bringing everyone back, and clearing it, and I think they're going to be content with only being down 1-0. You can't allow a goal going into the half.
Let's see if they can make it finish here.
Scrade, low liner. Up in the air. Dunn is able to catch it in the air. And now she is a veteran. She will likely take her time here. Just not enough time, I don't think, for Ireland to get it down on their side, on their attacking third. That's something that can't have happen. Head referee letting them play on for now. Might give Germany another chance. Scrade understanding. Pushed off the ball. And that is it. So halftime here in Spokane in our second and final match of the opening day, the opening night of this CISM World Cup, this military World Cup. But Germany leads 1-0 over Ireland thanks to Zonia Bartoszek, an OR4 in the Air Force, and she is a force on the pitch, Shelby. That was a big goal for Germany.
That was. I'm excited to see what Ireland has in the second half. I think they'll have something to see and something to bring for the next half. Hopefully they can get a goal, tie it up, get ahead.
So right now we're going to take a look. The United States, of course, played earlier. They beat Belgium 10-0. 10-0, scored 7 in the first half, 3 in the second half. There was a really cool media day here at Union Stadium in Spokane, and so a couple of members of the media got the chance to chat with some of the members of Team USA, and especially our own Matt Hester, who's been working really hard. Got a couple of good questions in, so let's see this little package that our crews put together.
We're all military women, and that is something that we do have in common. And we talked about when we got here, you know, we predominantly work around men. So to get this opportunity to be around like females who have one goal, it's excellent.
CISM has come a long way. I played in China in 2019, and it's come such a long way, and I just appreciate everyone chipping in and supporting us. Women's soccer has come also a long way too, and just to see the support behind us, like there's nothing better than getting to see on Facebook or on TV, like this is happening, like this is something people should get excited about, and just knowing that there's a whole fan base that's behind us is amazing, and I can't thank them enough. And yeah, cheer on Team USA, so I'm super stoked.
We're gonna come hard. We've been working really hard for this, so definitely don't take us lightly. We won't take anyone else lightly, but we're gonna come hard. We definitely want to win the gold.
Got the chance to talk to Derek Wayne, the head coach in his final year as the head coach before he retires, and Marcy Walton. I'll tell you what, Shelby, they were fired up about that 10-0 victory over Belgium. Well, we'll step aside here at the half. Germany with a 9th minute goal from Zonia Bartoszek. That's the difference. They lead Ireland 1-0 as we step aside here in Spokane.
It's my time to shine. Everybody gather around. I'm the new kid in this town. Let me lay it on the mic. It's my time to shine. Na 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 na. Whoa. Na 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 na. This my time to shine. Let's kick back, enjoy the ride. My advice is don't think twice. Everyone around the world, look at me, I'm fine. This is the way it's gonna be. Just you and me, so hold on tight. Yeah, this time is mine. Come join the ride. Be bright, be loud, be you, behold the one that you've been waiting for. Hey, na 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 na. Whoa, na 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 na. It's my time to shine. I'm shining. People, you are with me now. I'm not here to play around. Let me show you what I am. This my time to shine. All together one more time. Ring my bell and let it chime. Everyone around the world, look at me. This is the way it's gonna be. Just you and me, so hold on tight. Yeah, this time is mine. Come join the ride. Be bright, be loud, be you, behold the one that you've been waiting for.
I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I am no regular citizen. Nope. Do you understand what you're witnessing? You cannot tell what the difference is. I want it all and I'm winning it. I do not care about opinions. Time to make a few decisions so I can take a position. I'ma go get it, I'm punching and kicking. I keep on moving, they off of me. Just do it and stop at our talking G. I'm not expressing no modesty. I can't see nobody stopping me. If there's a problem, I gotta solve it. Straight to the top, I can't see myself falling. I gotta grab it, there's no time for stalling. Number one son and don't have other options. Now I'm fired up. I'm sorry, brother, your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. I came from the ashes, I rise up. Rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I gotta go for the gold. I need to switch up the mode. I'm gonna win on my own. I'm in a whole nother zone. I reached the pinnacle. I don't have time, this is critical. It's time to finish you. I don't care who I just did it to. I gotta go for the gold. I need to switch up the mode. I'm gonna win on my own. I'm in a whole nother zone. I reached the pinnacle. I don't have time, this is critical. It's time to finish you. I don't care who I just did it to. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. Said I'm fired up. I'm sorry your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. Came from the ashes, I rise up. Rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up.
Na 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 na, whoa, whoa, na 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 na. This my time to shine. Everybody gather round. I'm the new kid in this town. Let me lay it on the mic. This my time to shine. Na 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 na, whoa, na 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 na. This my time to shine. Let's kick back, enjoy the ride. My advice is don't think twice. Everyone around the world, look at me, I'm fine. This is the way it's gonna be. Just you and me, so hold on tight. Yeah, this time is mine. Come join the ride. Be bright, be loud, be you, behold the one that you've been waiting for. Nay, na 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 na, whoa, na 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 na. This my time to shine, shine. I'm shining. People, you are with me now. I'm not here to play around. Let me show you what I am. This my time to shine. All together one more time. Ring my bell and let it chime. Everyone around the world, look at me. This is the way it's gonna be. Just you and me, so hold on tight. Yeah, this time is mine. Come join the ride. Be bright, be loud, be you, behold the one that you've been waiting for. Nay, na 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 na, whoa, na
I ain't never gonna back down. I want it now and I ain't never gonna back down. I want it now and I ain't never gonna back down. I want it now and I ain't never gonna back down. I am no regular citizen.
Back here in Spokane, Alex Gould, Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson, and our terrific crew getting ready for the second half. So is Germany and Ireland. That's Zonia Batoshek, the goal scorer herself, in the center circle all by herself. Germany's going to start with the ball. All right, Shelby. Second half adjustments. We talk about it all the time. Let's start with Ireland. Down 1-0. Thought their back line did a pretty good job, especially after they allowed the first and the 9th minute to settle in a little bit. What are some things you're looking for here? How can Ireland find the back of the net themselves?
Some takeaways I have, and I think that some lessons learned that Ireland needs to take a part of, is kind of those sequences, right? They're passing the ball directly to Germany a lot of the time, and that just can't happen in a game like this. So I'm hoping that Ireland has really talked about that in the halftime and is now going to adjust and make sure their passes are a little bit more accurate. And, you know, if they need to be shorter, they need to be shorter to make those give and goes and sequences to make sure we get the ball up the field with our own players.
Substitutions for Germany. Coming out of the game, number 2.
Chance here, left foot laser, but well wide of the mark. Claimed off the fence back there, so Germany gets a shot up, but nowhere near on target. Gonna get you some substitutions here in a moment, but I want to talk about Germany. You'd rather be up 1-0 than down 1-0, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
An easy statement to make, but do you think that maybe Germany in the locker room talking about how they can continue to exploit the back line, but find a way to maybe switch sides of the pitch and get another one in the back of the net, because Ireland's hanging tough.
I think so, too. I think Germany's going to have to adjust slightly to make sure they get through these little spaces in between the defensive of Ireland.
And even right there, just getting a toe touch on the ball. That was Shannon Thomas.
Substitution for Ireland. Coming out of the game, number 11, Corey Farrell. Coming into the game.
So they're announcing all the substitutions here, and we're writing every substitution down, so hopefully we have those for you. It's a good 1v1 battle there. That was Schlegel, who won it against O'Riordan, Sullivan O'Riordan. And that shot attempt wide of the mark. That was Alexandra De Lucia. So, De Lucia, who just checked in, she's definitely a new sub for Germany.
And Lauren Dunn pushing back her defenders, telling them, get out of the box, I got this kick.
So, it's looking like Braunschweig, the right back, is out for Germany. Tessa Glickner, a midfielder, also can play on the back line, as Dunn makes a save. Could be a ricochet scenario, and it is. The second of the match for Zonia Batoshek. Flag stays down again. We talked about Robertson for the United States being a vacuum cleaner in that first match. But how about Batoshek? Able to push off her defender off that ricochet. She gets her second. So right now it's Batoshek 2 and Ireland 0.
And that's what we were just talking about, getting it through the Ireland defense to get those one shots for a goal just like that.
So getting to the subs, but I'll tell you who's not coming off the pitch anytime soon is Zonia Batoshek. And all our fours we talked about, center forward for Germany in the Air Force. From Ulich, Germany. And boy, is she lethal. And she always knows where to be.
She really does.
She was right there in that perfect position to where if it did cling off of Dunn, she was going to be able to clean it home, and that's what she did. And Germany with a 2-0 advantage. Now I'm curious to see. When are the Irish going to start maybe trickling a couple more up? We play a little bit more attacking-minded. But right now, just trying to get it out of their defensive third. So getting back to the substitution. So Glickner checked in for Braunschweig. Then 10 came off the pitch. That was Vanessa Scrade. Number 4 checked in. The number 4 for Germany is Alexandra de Lucia, we were talking about earlier. And then for Ireland, he had a substitution. 11 came off the pitch. So Chloe Farrell came off, the right mid. And checking in was number 12. That was Leah McAvoy, lieutenant. Left foot again, and that clings off one of the crossbars. That's the crossbar of the American football here. But even to take that chance there from Bartoszek, she's showcasing, A, how strong she is with both of her feet. That was with her left. But not afraid to take one from about 30 yards out. DeLucio just checked in. Plays it back to Zara Meinertz, the left center back. That's the right center back there in Sophie Hagedorn. Now R3 in the Army from Lübeck, Germany.
Very precise passes. You can see how precise and how their passes are getting to where they need to be for Germany.
Over to the near side here, Schlegel. That was dangerous there. That was almost cleats up high to the head or neck area. That was Selena Mates. Of course, she was going for the ball. Don't want to connect another player. Right foot. Trying to bend it there with Schlegel, but not enough on it. So Dunn, who's played particularly well, got kind of unlucky on that last one that it deflected off of her after she made the save, and Bartoszek is not going to miss from about 4 feet out.
Right. That was really just a good play on Bartoszek. Anyway, it's just being there at the right moment, the right time to get that deflection and get it in the net.
So Belgium, the newer face in the Women's Football Military World Cup. Talked about Ireland getting their feet wet, their first taste of the Women's Military World Cup. That's a good ball here. That's going to be an Irish throw-in. But also Mali. Going to see Mali at some point here in this tournament.
I think Mali's first game is on the 14th against South Korea, the Republic of Korea.
Yeah, and so Mali plays the latest of anyone. Just something had to work out that way when you have, of course, odd numbers in each group, 5 and 5. But Mali taking on the Republic of Korea on the 14th. So they get to really scout. They were here watching the United States and Belgium earlier. And guess what? They've hung around and they're checking out Germany and Ireland. Especially Germany and Ireland, because they're in the same group as these two. Good play there by Glickner, who just checked in. Trying to find Batoshek, who was looking for a hat trick. Dunn was able to deflect it, and then it's cleared away. Just in the nick of time.
That was almost a very good chance for Germany there in front of the goal.
That was Shannon Thomas. You can see Germany's plan right now is, well, when in doubt, when you have Batoshek kind of soars over everyone, very physical, and trying to get it to number 14 anywhere either just outside the 18 or just inside of it. Let her make something happen.
And when she connects with the ball, it'll happen.
Take a look at a replay of one of the previous saves. Player tying the shoe. I think that's Shannon Thomas. How about that from Glickner? I mean, she's got fresh legs, but she's the one who made this happen. And then Batoshek, maybe a little frustrated with herself. You could see kind of the head at the end go up to the sky because she thought maybe she could get a touch on it with her left foot and a one-time it into the back of the net. But Glickner showcasing what she can do.
Nice pass to Lucia. And it looks like we're having a player down. Jessica Schlegel, number 17 for Germany. An OR in the German Air Force. And she's back up, stretched out a little bit, and she's ready to go.
And both the German coaches and the Irish coaches were talking about it before this match. They said, listen, yeah, jet lag, of course, is tough, right? You got to get adjusted. It's a 9-hour time difference. That's not easy. Feels like it's past 5 a.m. in Germany, past 4 a.m. in Ireland. Of course, that's why you try and get here 48-plus hours in advance so you have at least a little time to adjust if you can. Dunn corrals it. But also, they were talking more so about the heat. And of course, some of the United States women are maybe coming from down south at different bases potentially. If you're in Texas or anywhere in the southern part of the United States. I know here at Lackland and in San Antonio. So we were talking about it earlier where Fahrenheit we're talking about here. It's probably about 38, 40 degrees Celsius, but it's about 105 with humidity, where it's not a dry heat. And so both coaching staffs, is Ireland trying to do something here as it's lost, and that was last touch by the keeper, who hasn't been tested a whole lot. That was Gina Marie Michka.
I think this corner will be a good test for her. See if Germany can get it in.
This is the first corner kick of the match for Ireland. So Catherine Meany to take it. Left foot cross. Off the head. And the flag went up. Ireland was offside. But talking about the heat, right? And I think there's some players from Team USA who are saying, man, this feels great. All right, 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 31 degrees Celsius. This is nice. It's not as humid. It's a dry heat. Get a little breeze over here in Spokane and Washington.
Absolutely. The breeze is probably a lifesaver for a lot of these folks here.
But you may see a lot of cramping going on and some of the legs given out at times. That's why they have the hydration breaks. And I think a lot of the teams, especially from overseas, we're talking saying, listen, it's not this hot in our country. It's not this hot where we're at. We would love a couple of hydration breaks because maybe two, obviously you always want to hydrate, of course, as an athlete in the military. They're teaching you that, but maybe not understanding how hot it truly is and the temperature difference.
Absolutely, and just the things that you need to adapt to in order to play here at the CISM tournament is astronomical. The resiliency of these teams to come out here at a new place new field, new people, new teams is just, and play like this is really something to see. And it's really inspiring, I think, Alex. Watching these women come out here in positions of leadership and positions of being ambassadors for their nation and their country is really, really, truly the best part about, I think, of this tournament, right? It's really inspiring. And the team that we had playing here at halftime while the ladies were getting a break was the Spokane Sounders, the club team here in the local Spokane area, and they were playing around and passing the ball around, having a scrimmage on the field that these ladies are playing on. And I have to say and have to think that it's probably so inspiring to see these women play such a game and get to see it firsthand.
Irish trying to clear, but yeah, it is a good story, right? They're looking up to a lot of these women out on the pitch. Of course, both for their service, but also their skills. I mean, listen, I know a lot of these players, we're talking about it with the United States and Belgium, but a lot of these players maybe haven't played in a couple of years. I think it could have fooled us.
Obviously, and it is true. We've heard it this entire time. People have lost the touch on the ball and then kind of come right back out to play these games. But even for me, I thought after college, even after high school, I'm done playing the game I love. There's no chance for me to really play soccer unless I try really hard to go pro. But this is a chance for people like me and people like those girls who were playing the scrimmage at halftime that it can go on. And you can serve your country while doing it too.
Absolutely. And looking at the substitute here, just want to make sure we get the substitute for Germany. Selina Matis, the holding midfielder, checked out for Germany. I'll tell you what, she held the midfield pretty good for this German squad. Checking in was Luisa Schmidtgen. Forward, serves in the Army. I believe that was the final substitution that Germany can make. Well, maybe not. Maybe they have one more because they subbed at half. I know they've subbed 3 times, but I think if you sub at half, so you're allowed 5 substitutes. That's how it works. As Ireland clears nicely there. You're allowed 5 substitutes, but you can only sub 3 different times. Okay, so 5 players, 3 different times to sub. But I believe the rule was that if you sub at the half, that does not count as one of the 3.
Yes.
So I think Germany may have one more because they had the sub for the injury, and then you saw Schmidtgen come in there and sub for Matis. Here for Ireland, but dispossessed right away. So that was Kehoe. We've seen her all over the pitch. She's been working hard. Good dispossession. Germany's back line hasn't been tested a whole lot today, but I'll tell you what.
That was a pretty good sequencing right there for Germany.
And Germany's needed that back line. They've been ready to go. A lot of times coaches talk about, and you can talk about this a little bit, talking about how even if you're not tested a lot, as a keeper, as the back line, you always got to be ready. That's why you can't fall flat on your feet. You got to be ready to go. Right foot try, and why not? Maybe Dunn was napping there, but she wasn't. Makes the save. That shot attempt by Jill Ludwig.
Exactly, and it's those breakaways, it's those onesie, twosies of those breakaways that can really, really test that back line so that, you're right, they have to stay busy, they have to stay ready for anything.
So 65th minute. Alex Gould, Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson, and our wonderful crew Talked about it in the first match. Got to get to it here. We have to shout out a lot of people in this tournament, but especially the two audio-visual squadrons that have made this streaming possible. So if you're waking up right now, maybe getting some breakfast, getting ready to go to work on Tuesday morning in Ireland or Germany, Hill Air Force Base in Salt Lake City, Utah, 2nd Audio-Visual Squadron, as well as Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, the 3rd Audio-Visual Squadron. A lot of people who really care about the military, but really care about the product going on in front of you. I mean, seriously, there's so many people who's been setting up for the last 72 plus hours to make sure that this stream was viewable all over the world with 4 to 5 different links. And we talk a lot of times about heroes in the military, talking about heroes of a match if someone gets a late goal, but there's a lot of heroes just on this crew who not only serve here in the United States, but also want to make sure that other countries get their stories told. That's a big deal. And those of you who've maybe tuned in before to some CISM events, whether it's women's football or other activities, other sports, a lot of times maybe it's just a single camera, or you get just a single announcer. I mean, they went all out for this production, and I'll tell you what, it's really cool to see.
Well, you know what? These teams and the people who have been putting this on deserve the world, and that's what we want to give them. We want to make sure everybody at home, the home nations, and people in the U.S. are watching and get to see the best views of the team and the play that's going on.
In case you're wondering, the concession stand is closing here.
Okay, you can do this by yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you need to go get anything. Absolutely. And this is the hydration break here. I'm wondering if any player's going to trickle over to the concession stand here.
I might need some water, that's for sure.
But Germany on top 2-0. It's getting a little bit cooler here. It's about 83 degrees Fahrenheit, 29 degrees Celsius. It's getting a little bit cooler on the pitch as it gets later on in the night. It's 8:23 local time. But to give you an idea of the weather change, I'm going to talk Fahrenheit here. In Dublin right now, and it's early in the morning, it's 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, it's raining there in Dublin. But also taking a look at, let's take a look at Munich here. 56 degrees Fahrenheit. And the high is going to be about 75 degrees. So pretty nice weather.
It does sound
in
nice.
Germany.
Alex, and you talk about how the weather's cooler, but let me tell you, this pitch is getting hotter because I can see Germany's getting a little bit more aggressive. I think they're trying to get that third goal, trying to get the goal differential for when the championship comes. And you could tell the players are a lot more pushing, a lot more shoving, and a lot more players on the ground. So I'd be interested to see if we can keep it fair game for the next couple of minutes we have here.
So Germany throwing it in on the far side. That's Alexandra de Lucia. And it'll be a corner kick here for Germany. So if you're just joining us, maybe just waking up, again, hello, we appreciate you joining us, either in Ireland or Germany. Germany struck in the 9th minute, and it was Zonia Bartoszek, her first goal of the match, first goal of the tournament, and then it was 1-0 at the half. In the second half, it's right around the 55-minute mark. Well, guess who? It was Bartoszek again. As Ireland lets it go, it's not touched by anyone. It's going to be a goal kick here for Dunn. But that's how we got to this point. 2 goals by a superstar in Zonia Bartoszek.
Let's see if she can get that hat trick here in the next few minutes we have here in the second half. I can get Ireland and Germany.
We talk about how rare hat tricks are, but Haley Robertson, in case you missed the first match between the United States and Belgium, Haley Robertson got a hat trick 41 minutes into the match. In the 41st minute, her third goal came. Yeah, how often do you see a
Not
hat trick in a
often.
match, let alone in the first half of a match? But how often then does someone say, all right, Haley Robertson, I see what you did. Let's see if I can put 3 into the back of the net. That's
Absolutely.
what Batushek's trying to do. Of course, Batushek, as much as it's cool to pad the stats, she just wants someone to score here to kind of put this match and this game out of reach. Off the head. Was not touched, and it's going to be a corner. And that's what I was thinking there. In that decision, Shelby, in that situation right there, where Ireland was kind of wondering what to do, that was Leah McAvoy who let it go. If you can keep it in, should you?
I think it's a decision really based on the player and the team, because if you think about it, you're in right near your goal, and Germany's been so aggressive to get it in. So I think she made the right choice in that decision right there.
Schlegel left foot, but no one was there in the middle of the pitch. Maybe now a counter opportunity here for Ireland. Good ball off the right foot of McGuigan. Kehoe got deflected, out of touch. Past the touch line, it'll be a throw in for the Irish.
And there's that cool, calm collectedness we were talking about earlier. Just passing it to your D, passing it to the goalkeepers, and taking the time to reset and let your team take a break.
One good story for Ireland, too, that head coach Richard Crowe was talking to me about before the match, but it may have to wait here. Batushek is working one-on-one. Boy, that's been a fun battle to watch all night long between Batushek and Shannon Thomas.
And you know what? I think they're a good match. I've been thinking that this entire time. I think Shannon Thomas is a good match for Batushek.
But a good story for Ireland, and Richard Crowe was telling me about before this match started. Came up to me and said, listen, there's a specific person, it's a couple of people, but he said one specific person in particular that I want you to shout out. I said, okay, who? He said, his name's Shane O'Donnell. And I said, okay. He said he's one of our assistant coaches, and he was blessed with his wife giving birth to a baby girl named Emmy. And so I asked head coach Richard Crowe, so we may have to pause this story for a second. Germany looking for number 3, and there is number 3.
And it's number 3 for Germany.
Eileen Schultz, an OR4 in the Army, puts the Germans on top 3-0 as she celebrates with the bench. And Schultz, we didn't even announce her as a substitute. She must have just checked into the match. But Schultz gets her first of the tournament to pretty much ice this game, and this match against Ireland, a perfect strike. She finished.
Now let's see if Ireland can come back, or if they're going to hang their heads for the rest of this match.
So Eileen Schultz from Torgelow, Germany. That's got to feel good for her. But again, we shout out Shane O'Donnell. Sorry, your shout out for the Irish part of it was interrupted by a Germany goal. But congrats on baby girl Emmy. And we know you're watching. Richard Crowe was saying he's going to be up. He's going to be laser focused on this match. Substitution for Ireland here. So Shelley Kehoe had a pretty good match. She was running all over the place. Checks out. It's like 13 checking in. That's Chloe Foy for Ireland. You can see that Ireland pushing maybe a couple more, trickling a couple more on the attack here. I'd love to see the back of the net final 15 plus minutes of this competition. Yasmin Hamel. Good give and go between her and her teammate, and Lucia Schmidtgen. Germany talked about everyone's passionate, right? Everyone out there, we talk about the three P's. You gotta be passionate to play the sport, of course, but you gotta control possession as well as you can. Germany does such a good job of that, but also controlling possession while playing with pace. And I'll tell you what, I know it's not that 10-0 match we saw with the United States and Belgium, but Germany is so calm, cool, and collected. That's the 3 C's. Talking about the P's and the C's here, Shelby.
Well, exactly that. I mean, you have to be passionate to come here to spend 11 days back to back to back playing nonstop, practicing at a new place, new people, right? We keep talking about the different things that people have to get over to be here and to have that resilience. They really have to love the sport. I mean, you're not going to do all this hard work and not want to win the championship.
That could be, sorry, I'm interrupting. I apologize. That's a handball, so that's going to be just outside the 18. That's an immediate yellow card because the handball could have prevented a goal. That's why the head referee there, and Hak Ming-ji, gives the yellow. Then we're trying to get word on who got the yellow. We'll get that to you guys when we get it. It's hard to see. But now this is a ripe opportunity here for Germany. They don't want to stop at 3. Because of that goal differential, don't forget. The U.S. and Germany are in the same group, Group A. They want to put on and put up as many as they can. This is Schultz, who just scored the goal about 5 minutes ago. See if she wants to take one. It's a wall of 4 Irish women about, see the end zone there, American football, but just outside the 6. Here's Schultz. Right foot. Trying to bend it. Could not. Missed wide.
Yes, that's 19, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, and a breakaway.
Another cross. Left foot try, and it pings off the post.
Oh, wow.
Boy, I didn't think that had a chance. But the left foot there.
That was a close one for sure.
Of Alexandra de Lucia. Almost got that to get past Dunn and get into the back of the net. I'm also amazed, too. I know we've been talking about it, but Zonia Bartoszek, her ability, she had 2 Irish defenders were kind of hanging on both sides of her arms. Was able to still kind of poke the right foot out there and keep that possession alive. That is so tough to do. That's also how strong Bartoszek is.
Absolutely, facing 2v1 and getting a touch on the ball. That's something that not a lot of people can do.
And what Bartoszek is realizing in that situation is that if she can get a touch on it, because she's got 2 defenders right on her back and right on her arms hanging all over her, she knows that in that situation, De Lucia, who's right there, has a wide open chance.
And a penalty kick here for Germany.
Right foot cross. Good look. Every time, so much emotion from Bartoszek. She just gets so frustrated because she thinks she can get to everything.
Absolutely. You can see her with her hands on her head. She was really hoping for that one. And they both were at the right place, the right time, just not fast enough.
I wonder if Bartoszek, when she misses a photo, right, her being a photographer in the Air Force.
It's a perfectionist thing, you know?
Of course, right? And you know it. Everyone knows it, who's played a sport or been an artist of some sort, whether it's painting or sculpting or entertainment, acting, whatever it is, even here in the booth, if we make a little mistake, we get on ourselves a lot. Bartoszek is the same way out on the pitch.
Absolutely. I can relate. I was trained as a photographer when I came in the military, and then I played soccer, so I know the relation between, just missing those moments, and you really just miss the best times and the shots to get what you really, really want.
Another corner kick here for Germany. Schlegel lofts one off the head. That was who else but Bartoszek, and she throws the right arm in the air because it didn't go into the back of the net. Listen, we talk about friendship through sport. That's the message for CISM. These players coming from all over the country, 4 different continents representing here in Spokane, Washington. But it's amazing to see some pure and raw emotion. Injury here. I didn't see the head referee there point, though, as to what the call was in Hakming-ji, but it could be because of a head injury. A lot of times, head ref will stop things. Of course, on a foul, but if there's any danger to the head or neck area. So that is Zara Meinertz, who's down on the pitch. She's going to get back up. I've still yet to see a signal as to what the call was. Assuming it's a foul on Ireland. That was Angela McGuigan who committed the infraction.
Oh, wow.
Deflection here. Keeper is well outside of the 18, right by the 20-yard line. And now a bad pass. This is a foot race here, an opportunity for the Irish. A tackle, and now we're going to take a look. It's going to be a yellow card. Boy, that could have been dangerous there. The last thing for Germany in a situation like this, of course you don't want to give up a goal, but at the same time you cannot get a red card. Eight plus minutes left in the match. That was real close.
Absolutely. For Yasmin Hamill, the yellow card on her, and one more, and then she's out for the next game.
It was Sosha O'Reilly O'Riordan who hit the deck there. So here we go. Catherine Meany taking the corner kicks for Ireland. 4-woman wall for Germany. See if she wants to take a shot, and she does. And I'll tell you what, because of the wall, it almost boxed out and blocked the keeper and Michka. And Michka was able to see it kind of at the last second to make the save. That could be another foul. No call.
You can see things are getting really intense. Those bench players, they're up yelling, standing the coaches. This is an exciting last couple minutes of the game, that's for sure.
Now we may get a discussion here between Richard Crow and Hakming-ji, just to make sure everyone's on the same page. I think Richard Crow thought that there was a foul on the push-off that was not called over there on the far flank.
Very good look there.
Dunn makes the sliding stop.
No fear on that one either. She had, 3 runners at her at the same time?
And there's a player down way away from that play that just happened. An Irish player is down, and again, could be cramps, we don't know. Taking a look at the left leg.
Looking like it's a number 3, Leah Walsh. Getting some help with her leg there on the side. And this is the first match of the tournament for Ireland and Germany. Keeping their players as healthy as possible is really top tier to make sure that they can play and bring their A game for the rest of the tournament.
So Leah Walsh got banged up there. Ready to check back in instantaneously. About 4.5 minutes plus whatever stoppage is here, but Germany with a nice showing. Good stop on the ball, good play through the middle.
And it's lost.
McGuigan, but then it was dispossessed. Bartoszek still looking for a potential hat trick.
And her match.
Schmidtkin was dispossessed. Glickner again.
Ireland's pushing forward and a breakthrough.
Good ball.
Let's see
They're on the near side, but how about the Jets? The speed of Yasmin Hamel, the left back for Germany. Boy, it looked like she had no chance to get to that ball before Sasha O'Reilly O'Riordan, but she did. We talk about it. Probably not enough, honestly. We're always talking about goal scorers, center forwards, talking about the wingers, and talking about, of course, the people in the middle of the pitch who are running miles and miles and miles. But the back line is critical. You need a back line. You need a defense who's ready to roll whenever. That's why we talked about it earlier, that Germany's back line has not been tested a whole lot by Ireland here in this match.
And you see it now just in the couple last seconds here. They have held it pretty strong with Ireland in the offensive.
Yeah, but Yasmin Hamel, a key staple and figure in this Dutch team.
That's a pretty nice through ball by number 4, DeLucia. But to who? And she's got it back. It's looking like we have a sub here for Ireland.
Substitution for Ireland, coming off the field, number 3, Leah Walsh.
Leah Walsh checking out.
15, O'Connell.
New sub checking in for the final minutes. That is Essie O'Connell. So Lieutenant Essie O'Connell checking in. But if anything here, Ireland has done a much better job the last 10 or so minutes. At least pushing on their attacking third, giving their back line a breather. Deflected, it'll be a throw-in. So Ireland, definitely the underdogs coming in to a match against Germany, mostly because you just aren't sure what to expect with a team who hasn't played in the Women's Military World Cup before and hasn't been a part of CISM on the women's football side of things.
Like you said before, it's rookie versus veteran, but you can never underestimate the underdog. So we'll have to see what Ireland brings for the next couple of games here over the next few days and see if they can redeem themselves after this game here with Germany.
3 added minutes, so 3 minutes of stoppage time added. So 90 plus 3. United States beat Belgium 10-0 in the first match. Unless the Irish can score here in the final 3 minutes of this match. See a couple of shutouts. The first 2 matches of the tournament.
Oh, it's a nice shot, and it bounces off the side.
Done with a good save. The player is down for Germany. Especially 2 minutes left in the match. You don't want to see anybody hit the deck and go down. A lot of football left to be played between these two nations. Could this be a counter opportunity? It's a 3v2. Left-footed over to McGuigan. This is a good battle. McGuigan versus Hamel. Hamel got a touch for a second, help side there from Sophie Hagedorn. So it's a corner for Ireland. And that is McGuigan who's down. Just looking at her right leg.
Substitution, Ireland, coming off the field. Number 10, Angela McGow, coming on the field.
This is definitely not a good thing to see, a good sight to see both players down. And we've had a lot of injuries just in this game. And it is the first game of the tournament. I mean, you have to think about what these teams are thinking. Can we get these players back into tip-top shape for the next games?
So Angela McGuigan, that's going to be the end of the night for her. She's hobbling off. We hope she's okay. Checking on the pitch is number 15, Grania McLaughlin, who checks in. And another Irish sub coming on, as well as a substitution for Germany, but the head ref is waving them for now. And we have too many players on the pitch, I believe, for Ireland. It could be wrong here, but corner kick nonetheless. It was well off target. See if Ireland wants to take a stab at it and take a shot instead. Could be a counter opportunity. Bartoszek got held. Advantage was not awarded. So here's Bartoszek trying to find a teammate. Good deflection. Here's the other goal scorer, and Schultz. And the flag goes up offside. And now we got to be pretty close to that 3 minutes of added time. Sub just checked on for Germany. It's hard to see the number over there on the far side. And that is it.
That is game.
So Germany, who has the most medals of any CISM nation in women's football, with a really sharp start. A 3-0 victory over Ireland. Nice win for Germany.
It really was, and you know what? This was an exciting game. It was aggressive. The teams both played well. Both their defense held pretty well, and it's interesting to see what will come out of this. Let's check out some highlights from the game.
Taking a look at this highlight package here that the crew put together. Dunn had a pretty nice match in front of the net, but back line let her down at times. You saw a great save there, but then the cleanup, and that was Batoshek.
That's her first one of the night.
Batoshek, who had 2. Brilliant. That was likely the Schultz goal there. Schultz, who had just subbed onto the pitch, scored about 3 minutes after she came on. But Ireland, it was 1-0 at half. Looked like maybe they had a little bit of momentum going into the half a little bit, but then it was all Germany in the second half for the most part. There were some chances for Ireland there at the end. Maybe Germany was getting a little bit tired. Again, starting this game at 4 a.m. Back in Germany, 3 a.m. in Ireland. Not easy. Even if you've adjusted for 48 hours, you still maybe haven't fully adjusted. And then, of course, playing in the heat, that was a big part of the story. And it's going to continue to be a big part of the storyline throughout this tournament, because it's going to start getting into the 90s and 95, 96 here coming later this week.
Right, and you know what? Ireland got their feet wet. This is their first game, their first CISM. I think that they're going to come out really tenacious for the next couple games coming up, so I have no doubts about it that they're going to bring their A game for the next teams that are coming up. And Germany's going to keep it up. I think that they really got to see and check out their first time.
So taking a look at the schedule for tomorrow. So the U.S. improved to 1-0, beating Belgium 10-0. And then Germany, of course, improving to 1-0, both in Group A. Belgium and Ireland dropped to 0-1. Taking a look at the schedule for tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. local time. It's the Republic of Korea, South Korea versus Canada. That's the start of Group B. And then at 7 p.m., the nightcap, the final game and match tomorrow, the Netherlands versus France. So 2 more European nations meeting in Spokane, Washington, tomorrow night. So a lot of intrigue in Group B as well. Any final thoughts?
I have none. I'm excited, and I'm going to remain excited for the next 10 days that we have. This has been an exciting day, and I just hope that everyone is able to tune in and watch the game with us.
I'll tell you what, if you wanted goals, if you want to see a lot of attacking power, well, I think you saw that from the United States and Germany today, 2 of the potential favorites in this tournament. Well, you take a look at Germany there, getting a picture after their first win. The most medals of any CISM nation is right there in that picture. Of course, they hope that they're the gold medal winners when it's all said and done next Friday night. All right, from our terrific crew here in Spokane, we say so long from the first day of the Women's World Military Football Championships. Alex Gould, and of course, Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson, and the rest of our crew. We will see you tomorrow at 3:30 local time. Good night, everybody.